as Rachel Reeves announced budget cuts last week, targeting those who are on benefits and the welfare system. We asked the question, is Rachel Reeves looking in the wrong direction, as news has broken that the gang who committed £54 million worth of benefit fraud may soon be released and allowed to return home to their family. Hi there, and thank you to everybody for joining me for yet another video back at the channel had just gone viral. If you're new here, we like to cover news and crime, give analysis, and also tell you information that sometimes the mainstream media won't always tell you. So with that being said, please like, share, comment and subscribe, and let's get straight into the video. 5 members of an organised gang were convicted of what was described by the Crown Prosecution Service as the largest case of benefit fraud in England and Wales. It surrounded Universal Credit. Universal Credit is the main welfare benefit in the UK, and it is currently claimed by 5.8 million people, a mixture of people both in and out of work. When it was launched in 2013, the government said its design would reduce fraud and error in the welfare system. But as the benefit was rolled out to more claimants, fraud levels actually increased, and these peaked during the pandemic when the rules for claimants that they had to follow were relaxed. Which brings our attention to the Bulgarian criminal benefit gang. All 5 pleaded guilty to fraud, and they also admitted money laundering charges. Their claims were supported by a range of forged documents including fictitious tenancy agreements, counterfeit payslips, forged letters from landlords, employers and GPs. But it has now been reported that the Bulgarian woman involved, who was jailed for 8 years for her role in the biggest benefit fraud ever uncovered in Britain, could be sent home and reunited with her children within months. Jelena Nikolova, 39, was sentenced in May 2024 after a gang systematically plundered the UK welfare system and stole at least £50 million of taxpayers' money. It has now emerged that despite the lengthy sentence, she became eligible for deportation only 5 months later in October under the early removal scheme and could be free by the summer. This was partly as a result of time served on remand while waiting sentencing, but also because under the new government guidelines, foreign nationals becoming eligible for deportation 18 months before their earliest release date. In Nikolova's case, that was halfway through her sentence. It is understood that when she returns home to her home country, she will not be jailed by Bulgarian authorities. The only reason Nikolova has not yet been deported is that the Department for Work and Pensions is still trying to recover some of the money that she stole. Until the confiscation hearings have concluded, Nikolova cannot be sent back. Prosecutors have been urged to be realistic about what they can expect to recover back. At a hearing at Wood Green Crown Court last week, Ruby Shrimpton for Nikolova confirmed that she became eligible for deportation in October, and were it for not the confiscation proceedings, it would already have likely happened. Judge David Arenberg KC then asked whether Nikolova would serve the rest of her prison sentence in a Bulgarian prison when she returned. Ms Shrimpton replied that she understood she would be at liberty and in a position to look after her children. The judge replied he was shocked, said, "I had anticipated she would be in custody for many years. It comes as something of a surprise to me that within a period of months she may be in a position to be deported and reunited with her children." The judge said that Nikolova had been jailed for a vast fraud which she had been substantially involved in. Nikolova, who is 39, was jailed along with others combined for a 25-year period in May last year at the Wood Green Court. The gang had made false benefit claims for Universal Credit with an array of forged documents. So far, only just £1 million of the gang's haul has been recovered, and the majority of the money is believed to be with people living in Bulgaria. Because the money has left the country now, there are no authorities or no police or powers that can recover this money back from a foreign country. Therefore, once the money leaves the country, it's gone. The Bulgarian gang and scheme was only uncovered after a lone Bulgarian police officer told British authorities that his hometown of Slevin had become awash with cash and criminals who were living like barons. Nikolova's partner had been released from prison on licence and is also awaiting confiscation cases to finish so he can be deported. At a previous court hearing, he interrupted proceedings and demanded that he be sent home as he had a right to a normal life. Speaking via a translator, he said, "Why is it my family, myself and my wife and my other children, all who have health issues, Why should we all suffer? Don't we have the right to lead a normal life the way normal people do? Where is the fairness in that? But the argument I would have is if you're going to live like a criminal and do the crime, then you've got to do the time. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Has Rachel Reeves' benefit cut affected you at all? Responding to Nikolova's partner's outburst, Judge Arenberg said the reality is you don't have the right to a completely normal life because you have been convicted of an extremely serious offence. A number of other key members of the gang are believed to still be at large in the UK, and prosecutors said they were investigating into numerous other individuals which were underway. The DWP has refused to respond to multiple requests asking whether anyone else has been arrested or charged with any offences. So before the government starts targeting its own people and citizens, maybe the government needs to look a bit further afield of people who are coming here and abusing the system rather than the people that live here and need it themselves. Let me know your thoughts on this topic in the comment section. Do you think the Bulgarian gang should finish the rest of their sentence in a Bulgarian prison, or do you think that they have a right to a normal life like they stated? I hope you enjoyed the video and the content. Smash the like button if you did, and if you haven't already, smash subscribe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you in the next video.